Hello, this is Crystal, and I'm back for part 36 of the Human Journal. This chapter, I'm going to talk about out-of-body experience. Early yesterday, around the afternoon, I was meditating, and I just had a certain feeling about the mind, and it is something I just wanted to express here about the mind, about the human mind. Just about the majority of my clips on the Human Journal series, I always talk about the mind. Just every time I look at other people, obviously looking at myself, everybody has their own experiences. Everybody. Some are similar, some are different, but yeah, I'm just going to use myself as an example on this, and I want to talk about my meditation on the out-of-body experience I had. And, the mind, I was talking to my friend about the human mind. I'm always doing my best to really put myself in a good state. Always doing what I can to follow my highest joy. It's that the human mind loves problems. And, I was telling her that, yeah, the mind loves problems, the mind. You sit there, you worry about stuff, and it creates scenarios, the what if situation, whatever. This applies to everybody, and, I'm like, and this is when the out-of-body experience comes in. But the mind just loves problems. We shape our mind in a particular way for a while. So yeah, it runs on habit, but everything is changeable though. I always talk about that. There's endless amount of layers of consciousness. And just every single day, every moment to moment, just in this human experience, I analyze myself, my mind, and it just comes up problems. Whatever experience I'm going through, but it just comes up with problems all the time. And what I do, when I have my moments though, but what I do is I feed myself good thoughts. I say that, and I say this to everybody too. And there's times that I meditate and I just picture myself at a space to quiet the mind. I look at this, it's like just looking at my mind alone. I look at myself as an illustration about everybody. The majority of the stuff that we go through, the problems that we talk about, right, everyone? Right? The good portion of that is in your mind. A very good portion of that. Yes, you have issues with whoever, but then you see that person, the majority of the situation that person is going through, right? That person is going, a lot of that stuff going through that person's mind, all there. It's all in the mind. So, if you really look at it, a lot of the issues that people talk about, and even myself, a lot of stuff is just the mind. Maybe a small portion is the physical part, but the mind loves problems. That's why a good number of us, we're so fixated on issues so much. You know, we come up with ideas. You know, it's like, man, it's like we figured that we have to do something complicated in order to enjoy life. You know, and all that is coming from your mind. Your mind, the mind suggests that you have to do certain things difficult. But you see, everyone, and I have to tell this to myself, you are more than the mind. Okay, the mind is just, I describe the mind in many different ways, but you see, this is how I look at it. You are consciousness beneath the flesh. Okay, your consciousness, your mind serves as an assistant to you. Okay, the human mind, I'm going to put it very carefully, all right? I'm going to put it very carefully. The human mind serves as an assistant to you. But I want to emphasize this. We shape our mind in a particular way for some time, so your mind's going to come up, it's going to reflect the stuff that you feel, right? So you think that your life is going through certain situations, right? And your mind's going to suggest different things. It's going to suggest the what if, and then it's going to suggest multiple scenario situations, things that, let's just say, you're not going through a particular situation, but your mind is going to implement situations or an idea that you're going through the situation, an issue. I'm just generalizing this now, everyone. So your mind is going to suggest that, yeah, you're going through these things. And then you react on it. You get frustrated, right? You sit there and worry about different things, right? But then the thing is that all of that is from the head. You gotta really step outside of this. You gotta step outside your mind. And that's what I was telling you. Beneath your human flesh, you are consciousness, okay? The human mind serves as an assistant. Okay, yes, that very ego mind, that structured mind of yours is an assistant. It may act like it has some power over you, but not really. You see, there is a consciousness thought. There's many levels of the mind itself, okay? Not just the human mind. We're talking about the mind, consciousness mind, okay? Okay. There are many levels of, let's just say, many layers of thought. So like, yes, part of it with consciousness, okay, consciousness has all feelings and everything, right? All those, right? But with consciousness could be still, and consciousness with the thought, with that level of thought, okay, it could be silent, okay? You have that ability to do that because you're consciousness. Consciousness breaks itself into a human form, for example, okay? With the human form, you have the human mind, okay? Okay? Those are levels, okay? All right? I just have to explain it to everyone like this, okay? So, yeah, there's many different levels of thought. So, yeah, consciousness does have a mind, okay? Not the human mind, okay? The human mind is just a level. But there's many, many, many levels of the mind, okay? And that's the thing, being human. It's like, I feel, and I'm going to tell you my feelings, everybody, on this. I was just telling my friend of mine, I said, you know, it would be a great balance for humanity, having an out-of-body experience. You see, when you have an out-of-body experience, and for those that's listening to this and you don't know what I mean, please look it up. I'll explain on this clip. But just look it up and research things for yourself on this. But I'm going to explain anyway in this clip. See, when you have an out-of-body experience, okay, it will definitely put you at a different, you will see things in a different perspective. You will be, or let's say you would be more balanced. You see, a lot of people, you know, we lean toward so many systematic, like, problems, just problems. And then we think that we have to, let's say, we have to invest in going on a vacation to escape your problems. Now, it's great going on vacation, you know. We want to get away, right? A lot of it, you know, the thing is, everyone, a lot of things has a lot to do with the mind, okay? You feel stressed out, right? Whatever you're going through, okay? Whatever you're going through, you feel stressed out. See, out-of-body experience is, you see, and for those that have heard of this, you probably, you know, would know what I'm about to say, or just bear with me. I want to explain. Out-of-body experience, see, this is my take on it. You meditate, okay? Or let's say if you take a nap. Okay, I've been experiencing this recently. You take a nap at a certain time of the morning. Let's say between 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. You have a different level of a dream state. Or, for example, it's a different level of awareness. You feel like you're physically up, but you're not. You see, your spirit, okay, within you, it will like leave your body, okay? Some people are able to see their own body. Some people don't. It's kind of hard to explain this in an audio clip. Now, I did talk about out-of-body experience and in different few of my clips, but there's some things I want to tell you further on this, okay? What I saw, what I meditate, meaning what I saw spiritually, okay? And when you have your out-of-body experience, you know, I've heard stories that there's a cord. You all heard of this, a silver cord, or like a white cord, that your spirit is attached to your body, okay? So when you go further away, right? Doesn't matter how long that cord is, that cord keeps you from your body, keeps you attached to your body. So when that cord snaps, okay, when that cord snaps, that's when you literally shift your spirit out of your human body permanently. You will shift, let's say you could shift into a different dimension. So it is very similar or the same thing when people have life after life experience. When they pronounce dead and they're not really dead, right? And they see themselves on a hospital bed. Now, I did talk about this before now on my other chapters. So yeah, out-of-body experience is it's like a different level of awareness. And it's the same family as, let's say, you're dreaming, but it's definitely a different level of awareness. You see things more clarity, okay? You have an idea of something, you follow through with it. I mentioned this on my other clips, okay, about that. And so yeah, so I was just saying to my friend of mine yesterday, like, yeah, humanity, you know, people, they take the meditation into a different level. And people meditate and they have an out-of-body experience. You know, you would definitely, it's a great balance for humanity. Okay? It's very important for people to experience this. Okay? You see, you're much greater than these problems that we talk about. Okay, let's say if it's a job issue you have, or if it's a relationship you have, and a relationship issue you have, all those things, right? You're much bigger than all that. And I like, I see that people stay stuck on earth-based ideas or anything that's three-dimensional. Stuff that's just really, it doesn't really mean much. And I was just telling, anyway, so I was telling my friends, like, my friend of mine yesterday that, I will just I love my out-of-body experience because I just, in my spirit, I just want to leave the thought, the mind, the human mind behind. Like, it's like it's like a weight. It's like a heavy weight on you, right? And you just want to take off that, you want to take that weight off of you. You just want to. And that's how I felt. I felt that yesterday. I felt like I just want to take this heavy weight off of me. The mind. Always, constant, always trying to figure things out, always giving you these worrisome ideas and stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, and I was telling her, like, it's just, that's what people need, and, I look at people, and myself too as well, but, I look at everybody, I feel that humans becoming more and more systematic. You want to do things like fast paced, but you're it's like you're just doing things so systematic. And I feel like when you introduce certain things to people, it's like it's like they want to escape their chaotic life, but when you give somebody a solution, a simple solution of something, right? Something that's very easy to do. A good number of people will shun away from that because you don't like your systematic life, but yet you will defend your systematic life because you think that you have to be responsible of everything, right? So that means you have to drive yourself mad, right? Real stressed out in order to consider yourself a responsible individual. That means you have to have 8 arms, multitasking, and doing all kind of crazy things, right? You're multitasking, texting, doing all kinds of things, stressful, all that. And it's like, wow, So yeah, I always talk about this in my clubs. I mean, we align ourselves with situations like jobs and stuff like that it gives you no room for yourself. But I realize in American culture, the idea of just relaxing, it just doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. It's just so strange. We say it doesn't make no sense, but then people doing all kinds of things just to relax, right? You got people drinking, getting drunk, collapsing on the sidewalk because they're drunk, bash their head like a bowling ball pin, or let's just say like a bowling ball. People doing different things just to relax. I say this a lot, and I feel that, again, when people, when they go somewhere and they meditate, that means really letting go. You could get at a level to have your out-of-body experience. It takes a lot of focus. A lot of focus. You know what I mean? It's like you really have to reprogram yourself. And, excuse me. When I was meditating, I was meditating of being in outer space. I was just floating at outer space. I was enjoying the vastness, just the complete vastness of life. I was floating. I was literally floating in space. That's where I was meditating. I had a DMT experience recently. It was a very light experience. It wasn't that strong, but I still got insights of it. I just felt I felt good. I felt great. You know, I mean, like I was telling you before in my clip, when you take your DMT experience, I mean, it doesn't have to be a plant. You could, again, your own brain produces DMT every day. So, but anyway, I take DMT through the plant. So, I mean, I don't have to. I choose to. Okay. So, so I was meditating when I was meditating on my DMT experience, and then I remember yesterday from my experience I had a few days ago, I was meditating again about being out of space, and it just felt great. It felt good. Whatever the mind was suggesting of like all the problems, whatever, right? What are you gonna do and this and that and all that? I just felt like all that was behind me. I felt that all that was behind me. I felt great. I felt great. And and I'm going to explain further about my out-of-body experience. You know, there's something I reconnected with, okay? And I felt so excited. I want to share this with everybody. You know, when I was meditating, okay, and I was in outer space, what I did is that I went further and further and further out of space. When I went further out of space, okay, now, you see, when you look at the sky, you look at space, it's like darkness, right? It's all dark, like black, right? But when I went out of space through meditation, okay, I saw an unbelievable brightness. It was a massive space cloud, or you could call it a space cloud, but I saw like it was like a multiple stars melted together. Okay, it gave such unbelievable brightness that go as so far within the universe. It wasn't just some ordinary space cloud. It was like a melted stars combined together. I saw that. It was just unbelievable. Then I keep going further and further out of space. Then the blackness became like dark blue. It was like a bluish color. Space was like a bluish color with all the stars. It was wonderful. Then I kept going further beyond that. Then I saw the blue space, the blue color of space became like a pearly white color. Space was like a pearly white. It was just is. You probably ask me, well, how does space become pearly white? It just did. It's just that the brightness is the element. It's a different level of element that it's just that gives it color. I feel it's a combination of the what do you call it, the chemical that produces the brightness, but it looks just like you see out of space, but it's just pearly white. And I looked further on that too, and it was like something spiritually now, something hit me that the resemblance of space, of going out of space, it's the same thing. For example, it's the same thing when you're underwater. When you go underwater, right, the water becomes dark. Like really, really dark. Like really, really dark. And I look at the dark part of water. That's the space that you see outside of Earth, for example. And as you get closer to above water, it becomes lighter. And that's the same experience I had in outer space. I was telling that to my friend of mine yesterday, that how I made a connection about outer space, about this so many different there's so many different perspectives how you could describe consciousness. And she was amazed by it. She saw the connection about the depth, not the, I don't say depth because there's no depth, but just the layer, the level of just how far. It's just, there's really no end. It's just that it's kind of hard to describe. It's an audio clip, so follow me, please. So just the level of space, just itself, how the colors change. It's exactly like water. It's like you're going from let's say from the darkest part of water, and you just go up and it gets lighter and lighter. And I was just telling her that I said that I feel that the whole universe and beyond is like it is truly like water. It really is. I saw the on the pearly white space. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I really went deep in my meditation, and some of the stuff that I saw in my meditation, I'm very familiar with this. This is very familiar to me. Something that I reconnected to myself, and I just feel like I just need to share this with everyone. The pearly white space is truly like beautiful. I know there's more beyond it. I know that, and that's why I was sharing to my friend of mine that I said, wow, it's like this whole universe is like water, and I was just imagining what it was. But I just want to say something about the black hole real quick before I continue on with the pearly white space. Actually, it is about the pearly white space. I was talking to her about the black hole, and the black hole is not black. It's like it's kind of, it might sound strange to you. It's like white. It matches the actual space. Okay, the black hole was like pearly white, but it was a hole. It's different. There's a hole. It's like, and I was telling her about this. It's like, and she was telling me that you're really interested in the black hole. I said to her, yes. It really got my attention a lot because I know more about it than I think. And then, and I'm searching more and more. I'm digging more and more about it. And that hole, or we call it a pearly white hole, whatever, but it just matches. It matches. The color matches of its surroundings, of the whole space on that level. And I knew that hole, okay, it's like it is a path to different dimensions, different layers of dimensions. Everything, whatever matter, light, or anything that goes into it, nothing destroys. Nothing gets destroyed. It just, what it does, and this is what I see, and this is how I feel now, okay, about it, okay. It goes through transfer, like whatever goes into the hole, whether it's a black hole or whether it's a pearly white hole or whatever, it goes through any matter or light. It goes through it's like a transformation. Okay, nothing destroys. Things changes form all the time. Okay. All right, it is related to like the void, okay? All right, the void is complete silence, but see, the whole, okay, or I could just call it a path. It's like, it's literally what it is. It's the same thing like I mentioned in my other chapters, that when people talk about this light at the end of the tunnel, right, and that tunnel, right, that people talk about, that long tunnel, but then they see a light at the end. But that long tunnel it's pretty much the black hole, okay, on this side of space, okay. Wow, there's so much stuff I could talk about, and I just felt amazed by it because when I was going as further and further out of space, I just know that there's no depth to it. It could just go on and on. It's like, what I was telling her is like, I said, what I was imagining that this entire universe, or you could call it all the multiverse, it's like part of a body of it could be a solid matter or it could be fluid. Like, and then you have other level of life forms, okay, that surrounded into this universe and this universe and beyond. There's so many things that I could describe that your mind is going to be like, it's like you probably may not believe what I'm saying, whatever, but I'm still going to share how I feel about it, and then what I saw when I was meditating, and just because there's something that there's an outer space or an existence of something, whatever it is, it's like all that's connected to us. There's really no separation. You go as far out if you want, or you go deep from within. Everything's connected. I know I always talk about everything's from within and spiritually. There are different ways too. There are different ways to look at it. They are in outer space, but you see, it's gonna may not make sense to you. See, what you see out of space, everything's within you. Okay? I know the mind thinks that everything that's distant seems to be a separation of distance. But, all the dimensions that are within consciousness is all together as one. Like, you see, on Earth, there are so many different dimensions, realities that you do not actually see with your two eyes. You don't. There are a world within this world. And I'm not talking about underground. I'm talking about another dimension, another world within this world. Or I could say that's aligned with this world. Okay? There are different, there are different dimensions that's you have dimensions that's on top of one another. You have dimensions that's alongside of this dimension. There's all kinds of dimensions within consciousness. There's really no separation of anything. Again, I know it may seem like you look at the stars and you see that so far away, but not really. Everything is connected together. There are dimensions. A lot of people play with a theory about a one-dimensional, or let's say two-dimensional. Two-dimensional, everything is flat, right? Everything is flat, so what does that mean for everything else? Everything else is flat on that dimension. But I will say this, all the dimensions of all kinds, they all stick together like glue. I'm just telling you to flat out. You could shift to other dimensions. See, I really talk about meditation a lot because, meditation is a very powerful tool. When you meditate, you become a key. You open up other doors, okay, from within. So yeah, you could play with the concept of you traveling far. But all I'm telling you is that all the dimensions of existence, of consciousness, all of them stick together like glue. I wanted to add this too. I was talking to my friend yesterday about the third eye. I added about the third eye. When I had, not recently, but my other DMT experience, when I had closed eyes visuals, okay, when my third eye was activated, I saw daylight, okay? I was seeing daylight on my closed eyes visuals. Right there and then, I knew that darkness that we see is not really dark. you know, there's light right there. I know it's going to sound weird, but so while I was just telling her yesterday that, darkness is, there are like light. It's just that we are aware of certain things. You see, human beings are aware of certain things with your five senses, for example. So one of your five senses is what you're seeing, and you think everything what you see is there. That's it. But there's many layers of existence. So there is brightness, even in a dark room. Okay. So when I saw that in my third eye visual, my closed eyes visual, let's say, okay, I really saw daylight. I actually saw a different room, matter of fact. It wasn't the room that I was in, by the way, but it was just it was bright. It wasn't like the brightness of a sun because of the sun. It was just bright. It was like it's like a natural brightness. So about that pearly white space, you see, I feel that pearly white space, or let's just say, it was pretty much the same, a glimpse of that on my closed eye visual I had a few months back. You see, the third eye is like a needle also. I'm sorry. The third eye is like a needle, okay? You could see like whatever you need to know or visualize from your third eye. Again, it's like a needle. It could penetrate to all dimensions. You could see endless amount of layers of like realities. I feel like it's very important for human beings to align themselves this way spiritually, because you see, when you see things in different perspectives, okay, you're gonna have you're gonna align yourself up. You will align yourself up with a different awareness. Okay, so when you see problems that seem so big, it's not really big at all. It's like when you when you able to see, when you empower yourself to drift away, okay, or make your problems really small. It seems big in your head, but actual reality is small. You will feel much better. You will feel at peace with yourself, and that's the thing. There's many different levels of meditation. Okay, I'm doing my best to describe here in this clip about my meditation and what I saw. There's so many ways about life, and I felt like I needed that. I feel like I needed to remind myself yesterday, because I just, sometimes, I don't know, I don't know how to put it, but, the human mind, I look at it because of my level of awareness, and I understand a lot of things, a lot more and more, like I'm reconnecting to things more. I feel personally the human mind is useless to me. I mean, it is a level of consciousness. It is. I just feel like the mind is useless. I mean, I could, observe the mind and all that, and then reshape it. But I just like to expand. That's my highest joy. I don't like to stay with I guess that's why I always say that I'm a multidimensional being. Okay, I like to observe different dimensions. Okay, that's the being I am. That's the being I am within consciousness. Okay, being human and the mind and all that. It's just an experience of itself. It's just that I don't know how to put it well, so I'll just say it bluntly, okay? The human mind is just useless to me, I mean, I'm going to still inspire everybody to reshape your mind and whatever, but I guess for me, I felt like I just like to observe more and more and more about expansion, okay? All right. Being human is just one level. I always say that. I know. I always say that. It's just a level, okay? Can you steer? Can you connect the human level of consciousness? Yes, of course. I mean, it's part of consciousness. You know, uh, I just like to. I just don't like to be at one level. I like to be in multiple levels. You know, because you see, I know there's more to life than a lot of problems that people talk about, or let's say I talk about. I know that. You know, I feel like a lot of people spiritually need to connect. A lot of people need to know what spiritual life really is. I feel, and I did talk about this before, a lot of people get religion mixed up with spiritual life. And I feel like a lot of people are not aware at the moment. So that's why, that's why I'm here I'm just playing my role to inspire everyone to tap in, to reconnect to consciousness, because that's what you are. To reconnect to what spiritual life really is. You know, uh, nobody, we could stay stuck with problems and talk about it all day and have like a discussion group and talk about problems all day and all that. And then you say to yourself, oh, I'm just human, and, go on with yourself. But, so all that is experience. It's not saying that that's not saying that you're not good or you have no worth. You're worthy. Of course you're worthy. Everybody has the ability to tap in or reconnect to the vastness of life. Everybody. It's just what you choose. What do you want? But I gotta say this, and I say this in my last chapter, my other chapters. Consciousness is about expansion. Okay, that's what consciousness is. Consciousness is about expansion, and humanity can't stop consciousness from expanding. Just want to say that. This is not some outside God I'm talking about. I'm talking about consciousness within you. All right. So I just want to express that. I'm using myself as an illustration about how the mind works, what the mind does, meaning what it suggests. Every decision you make, okay, you have to weigh things out. Okay, are you allowing the ego? Are you tripped up over your own ego? Or you open yourself up spiritually in terms of making a decision and creating from within what you really want. All these things are just an experience. These are lessons. Okay? We are free to take lessons and we're free to not take lessons. Whatever dimension you observe, it doesn't matter. Okay? I say it to myself that I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck in whatever I'm involved, whatever I do, whatever, right? Just giving you a generalized example. I'm not stuck. My mind is going to suggest that I'm stuck. It's going to tell me the A, B, and C, D, E, F, G, whatever, all those things, and how are you going to do that, and how are you going to do this, how are you going to do that. And a good number of people go through that. And I always talk about this and throughout all my chapters that, being human, the whole experience of itself is based on physical and mental. But majority of it, I have to say, is mental. It's just how people operate. It is. A lot of things, a lot of so-called conflicts, whatever we talk about, all those things, everything is the mind. A good portion of it. But, the mind would suggest separation, right? So you don't like somebody. It's an example, okay? It's an example. You don't like somebody because whatever, right? But then, you see, while you're going through stuff with your own mind, okay, that person's got stuff going on in his or her head, okay? Because that person is allowing the mind to control her or him for that moment. The same thing for you. It's big of us. It's big of us to express the vulnerability side of us. to acknowledge that, okay, yeah, I allow my mind to control me for a moment, meaning, but I am power, okay? I am power to control my mind, and that I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm fearless. And, I got to say this, the other day, I think it was a few days ago, consciousness within me they say to me that, Crystal, whatever you do, whatever decisions you make, okay, you're protected. Whatever you do, you're protected. I felt great. I felt really great about that, because see, sometimes, a lot of us, we condemn ourselves because of decisions that we make, right? A good number of you feel like you're a failure because you made a particular decision, right? So your mind is going to come at you and criticize you, right? And then you take it in. You take it in. You feel like you're walking around. You feel like you're just like you're like no hope or nothing. And again, like I say, a lot of it has a lot to do with the mind. That's why I feel like humanity, what's a great balance for humanity is an out-of-body experience. Because once you reconnect with what life really is, I'm talking about what real life is, okay? All right? I mean, you will automatically shift. That's it. It's just how it is. I mean, I don't know how many people will still shift into just one level and just fixate their mind on problems. I mean, if you're getting something out of, I'm observing a lot of problems. If you're getting something out of it, okay. But if you're not getting anything out of it and you're not happy, that, right? Then shift. And this is what I tell myself. Okay? Being afraid, no matter what, is not going to help you. This is my take on it now. All right? Remember I told you in my earlier chapters, the human mind can't see far. Okay? I talked about this a while ago, that when you see things through the third eye, you can see a lot more with the third eye. The third eye is like a needle. That's how I describe it. I can describe it many ways, but it's like a needle. And you can see, you see so many, it's like, there's so many endless of possibilities that you can see. It's all about perspective. It's all about how you align yourself. The more you're aware on different levels of life, okay, it will impact you, okay? It will impact you. It could impact you good or bad, whatever, but it will impact you. I feel like a lot of people, personally, a lot of people need to wake up. A lot of people need to wake up, seriously. That's why I feel like the mind, to me, the human mind is useless to me. That's just how I feel. This is a journal. I'm recording my journal for myself and for everybody, that whatever you could take out of what I'm expressing, and maybe you will get something out what I'm sharing that will inspire you. And that's the purpose of me sharing this with everybody. I don't just speak out whatever. My intention is to inspire everyone, and obviously myself. But I just needed to express my meditation state from yesterday and out of space, and just the whole idea of meditation, and the whole idea of out-of-body experience, that it's definitely beneficial for humanity. It really is, seriously. It just does. Meditate, go somewhere quiet, okay? A lot of you that's listening, a lot of you probably know about this, okay? Just go deep. There's no limit. Say to yourself, there's no limits. Go as far as you can for the moment. Just keep going. When you meditate, focus. It's about focus. You got to focus yourself, okay? Don't lean towards your human mind only. Lean on the spiritual mind. Remember I was telling you earlier about consciousness mind, okay? There are different levels of thought, okay? Lean towards that. Okay? There's so many ways I could describe, so I had to break these things down carefully. That way everybody can understand what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so it's very important that everybody does this. You know, it's very important. Go deep as far as you can, okay? Remember, say to yourself that there's no limits, okay? That's it. There's no limits, okay? All right, so I'm really glad I record this and, you know, express this to everyone. And I just felt I needed to, you know, and I love the idea about the outer space, that what I saw in spirit. It was very, I'm going to explore more of that, and, you know, and it's just amazing. It's like, before I close out, you know, that we got the Hubble telescope and all that, and we see all these things. You see a lot of stuff, but I'm going to tell you this, everybody. With your third eye, just your third eye alone, you can see further, a lot further than the Hubble telescope. Just got to throw that out there. Okay? Okay, and remember I told you, for example, on Earth, there's a lot of different dimensions. Okay? It doesn't have to be distance-wise. I mean, distance, when you look at distance, everything is close together, like glue. So like, when I'm telling you about different dimensions or different realities, there's different realities standing right where you at right now. But, you know, you're observing a particular level, I was going to say the human level, you're just not going to see it. You're not. You know, you're just not. And that's the thing, I want to express that. You can see more. It's all based on the third eye, you know. And what else? I think I cover a lot in this chapter. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to all my chapters. And I'll definitely be back for part 37. Take care.